Hi, welcome to So You Think You Know Fanon, the only podcast where we bring you the best of the bottom of the barrel because we have nothing better to do with our lives. I'm Michael.
Now in this topical season.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I'm Michael. You can find me at Equinox Doodles pretty much anywhere.
I'll go next. You can find me at High Enough Hotcakes.
Sergio here. You can find me at Roxas the Hunter on Twitter.
And last week we discussed in great detail where certain mascots would be religiously aligned, and also found a bootleg Kingdom Hearts novel that's been going on for like 6 books. So, in this turn,
I'd rather not be reminded of that until we read it ourselves.
Yeah. This time around, Jake, it's your turn to present to the class. What horrible deeds have you brought to us?
So I found a little shorty. It's called 14 Days a Rathian.
14 days of Rathian. What?
Oh boy.
It's really been 14 days, hasn't it? Stuck in a Rathian's body in a different world. Heh. If I told anyone back home about this, they'd think I'm crazy. One shot. T for light cursing.
Okay, so I have a question first of all.
The image that goes along with it is I'm checking the Living Moss and
Okay.
the main channel.
Okay. That
Author's note. Do you want me to read the author's note before you?
you have to. It's part of it.
Author's note. Quick one shot I made inspired by Killed Streaks. I am a Rathalos. Good read, by the way. Might have to put that on the list.
Yeah.
A journal entry styled piece about someone wrapped in this scenario to pull myself out of writer's block and take my mind off of things.
2020, please say psych right now.
Also, this isn't beta read revised much. We die like men, lol.
Okay.
So what was your question?
I was gonna ask what because I didn't quite hear the title and I didn't see the picture. And I was like, what is this for? I didn't know what it was. And then you sent the picture of the Rathalos, and I'm like, okay, I immediately understand it.
Actually,
That is a Rathian.
Rathian, the female Rathalos.
It's a pink Rathian.
Oh.
Which is something that's in the game. That's not just. I'm not just describing that as a pink Rathian. There is such thing as a pink Rathian.
Yes, I can post a picture of a pink Rathian for you right now.
Oh.
It is a Rathian.
Oh.
It is pink, which is by proxy a Rathalos but green.
Okay.
Imagine a Rathalos but green but pink.
A green but pink Rathalos. Okay. So it's just a fancy Rathalos.
It's a female
It's also a
Rathalos.
girl.
Okay.
And as we know, girls are icky and yucky and
Yeah. This is why I'm a level 19 half gay.
we do not condone females on this podcast.
This is no girls allowed.
No girls allowed. Get out of my pillow fort, Mom. Come on.
So, okay. So, I guess kick it off then.
It's really been 14 days, hasn't it? Stuck in a Rathian's body in a different world. Heck, if I told anyone back home about this, they'd think I'm crazy. That is, if I get back home. I still don't know how I got into this mess. I was just having a lazy Saturday, shoving all of my essays to the side and making a large pot of ramen. I didn't even play Monster Hunter that day. I was playing Minecraft. Well, I did grind a lot earlier that week. I was building Minecraft versions of some locations in World. Shit. I'll stop overthinking it. What matters is I woke up tangled in a bunch of vines and some Palamute laughing at me, calling me a dumb Rathy. Of course, the vine snapped as I was trying to look at myself. I really started off as the clown of the Highlands, huh? I tried explaining how I was human, but the Palamute took it as a joke. What's wrong? Can't find your human Gwait sword with a W. He mocked me. I roared at him and he took off. I still see him every once in a while. Takes a lot of strength to not set him on fire. What? The Highlands are pretty. I'm not going to risk burning it down. Day 1. Oh, day 1 was awful. I didn't know how to fly yet, so I spent the time tripping and falling over vines and rocks. Got flashed by a SYTYCFanon who yelled at me to watch where you're stepping, eh? Ended up sleeping in a cave.
I took that in a wrong direction, but I understand what you meant.
For context, the SYTYCFanon has flash photography powers that blind you.
Okay.
Not like flashing isn't like.
Well, I would hope not, because I don't think that any monster would want to see another monster's genitals.
That was really on the nose. Sorry. I ended up sleeping in a cave I came in after fighting to climb up the walls. The funny thing is that one of the first things I thought wasn't, why the hell am I in a video game? It's, oh god, how am I supposed to pass my classes and pay off my semester now? Can't type with claws and wings. Capitalism. Am I right, fellas?
This is a very strange isekai.
I'm not a big fan of isekai. So I'm already, like, not a huge fan of this, but...
You know what?
This kind of feels like one of those scenarios about with like reincarnation, where if you're like a dick in like your regular life, you get like reincarnated as like a bug. But this time it's as a fire-breathing dragon.
Well, I don't think it'd be for dicks. It'd be just for like decent people. Because I don't know about you, but being reincarnated as a fire-breathing dragon seems pretty badass to me.
I don't know. It's at least inconveniencing this guy.
That's fair.
Because his schoolwork is more important.
Well, I mean, do you know how to fly, Sergio?
That's true. It's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah. As someone who totally has not tried, I can safely say it's very hard.
I watched a lot of Dragon Ball growing up. I tried. I'm not afraid to admit it.
I mean, I think everyone probably tried to do the Kamehameha, or the Kamehameha. I don't know which way people pronounce it.
I mean... Depends on how old you were when you watched it and how much you went on the wiki.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Personally, I'm a big fan of the Kaioken. You know, the one that like shoots out a beam.
Yeah, the Kaioken.
Yeah. Let that kid alone.
Big green. Let that boy alone.
Let me alone.
That reincarnation Dragon Ball manga where the guy gets reincarnated as Yamcha and then he becomes like a Chad. You read that?
No, but I know of it. I know
it's officially published by Viz. It's pretty. I mean, fine.
How far did it get? Because I don't remember exactly.
I think it's just a one shot. It just goes out. He beats the shit out of Vegeta so he doesn't get cucked. I think that's it.
That's a pretty good deal, dude. I'd also beat the shit out of Vegeta to not get cucked. Although I have to say, as a man of culture, I think Chi-Chi is infinitely more attractive.
It depends on the design.
That's fair. I was thinking more like after like time skip, like Boo arc era.
Oh well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like Super era.
Super era. That one's a bit iffy. That one.
Anyway.
Yeah. So
let's continue before this gets into 45 minutes of Dragon Ball. You know what? If the first thing I think about is schoolwork and getting thousands of dollars in debt, maybe waking up as a Rathian isn't so bad. I'm pink at least. Pink's my favorite color.
Oh man.
I got the hang of the whole flying wyvern thing pretty fast actually. Hunting was straightforward, chasing the small monster and biting down. I had to go for Kebli at first because, well, I didn't know how to fly. Speaking of flying, it only took 2 days to learn. 2 days? Man, 24 hours out of your day constantly being a dragon. It would take less than 2 days to learn.
I mean, look at birds though. Like baby birds take way longer.
Yeah, but baby birds aren't born as adult dragons.
Okay, but like
they don't even have wings when they're born.
Okay, but like it's either like they have to fly or they freaking die. So I don't know, man.
This person should have just jumped off a cliff.
You're just open. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I think most people know that. Like, if you're falling out of like from like a high place, you always want to like go flat to make it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I feel like, if anything, if he like the first time around, the main character, the pro tag, the first thing that they would do is like do that, and then they'd realize that they're gliding.
I'm assuming the main character has to be female if it was reincarnated as a Rathian.
Yeah, especially with the favorite color being pink. I don't wanna make any assumptions, but
Hey man, pink's a very
I'm
pretty
assuming
color.
It is.
A female.
I mean, but like, if we look at the beautiful thumbnail art that we have for this fan fiction, like, they got the strawberry lemonade color down.
That's true.
So like, and I think any normal man could enjoy a strawberry lemonade.
I think if he was a man, he would reincarnate into a pink Rathalos rather than a Rathian.
Okay,
An azure raffle, if you will.
that's fair. That's fair.
Because they don't turn pink. They go by traditional gender standards. They turn blue.
That's fair.
Because as you know, the most important thing of the world of creatures is traditional gender roles.
Yep. That's how it be. That's how it be.
Anyways, a few trees were trampled, and I got paralyzed by paratoads 5 times. But we don't talk about that. You just lied. You talked about it.
Yeah, dude. We especially talk about that.
Especially the Palamute coming by to laugh at me.
Again.
How dare he?
I gave him a good whack with my tail. For the other monsters in the area, I'm the only one. The only ones I'm on bad terms with. This sentence is horribly worded. The only ones I'm on bad terms with, you know who, and the tsetse I met on day 1. That's not a real sentence, and you can't change my mind. And that Rajang's been starting shit with everyone. all the other monsters I met are chill. There's a Legiana I run into a lot, and she has a lot of tea on both hunters and some of the tea. That's the tea, sis.
Yeah, dude, the tea.
Imagine walking up to a Rathian and it's like,
So do you want to hear the tea?
on both the hunters and some of the Highlands monsters, and the basil geese who passes by every once in a while, who kept telling me to visit the witch. I tried telling the others about how I was a human, but none of them believed me, except for the Kieran. They knew a few others liked me. Like me or liked me? Because it says liked me, but I think it means liked me. I asked them if they were human once, and if I could meet up with the others. They just shook their head and told me,
Afraid not, kiddo. And, others? I haven't met a human-turned monster in many moons. Last one I met here was when the humans first invaded the New World. Haven't seen him around. Ugh. At least you weren't one of those hunters with their blasted bug sticks and arrows and bows, thinking they owned the place. You weren't one, kiddo, right?
man, I don't know how to react to that, especially as a bowman. How am I supposed to explain what a video game is to them? I just said, nope, just run-of-the-mill average human. Wasn't lying, at least. Okay, this person is a bowman, so their story is immediately invalidated?
Yeah, I can see that. I think, as you know, I'm more of a big fan of the bug javelin.
Oh.
I'm a bug boy. I'm a scarab boy.
That's the insect glaive.
Yeah, sorry, the insect glaive. Although I was really, it was either the insect glaive or like literally any other mobility focused.
I like the hammer. I like bonk.
You like bonk?
Don't take that out of context.
Okay. Sergio, what was your favorite weapon in Hunter Monster?
I'm a permanent switch axe man.
That's true. I've only ever seen him use that.
Man, does he kick axe with that?
I do.
Cool.
Speaking of hunters, I've seen them around. I just haven't been targeted yet. Thank God. I can't make out anything they were saying. I can't tell if it's language barriers or I just lost the ability to understand humans. I'm not testing either theory, although I may have been messing with them every once in a while. All the other monsters call me crazy and tell me they're going to capture you if you keep up with that, but who cares? I tied a bunch of vine tripwires to the tree. How? It took me a while because no hands and claws and mouth aren't the easiest things to tie. Again, how? You don't have thumbs.
Don't question it.
You know what? This person is valid again because they may use the bow, but they are dedicated.
They're a dedicated bowman, though.
You tie something with no thumbs and a mouth and tell me how it goes. No one could figure out who or what did it. Ha! My favorite has to be leaving the graffiti everywhere. I carved it in the tree trunks, dirt, and my favorite and most risky, right above one of the camp entries. Yeah, it was hard because I'm a big monsty in a tiny package way.
A big monsty, dude.
Monsty. Apostrophe monsty. That's what it says.
Dude, you use monsty's our word.
Yeah, monsty.
You have to use monsty. Monster is our word.
You can say monster.
No, so you could say monsty.
Monsty. That's not a word I thought I'd read. You can't even call it a word.
Dude, monsty with a hard R.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude.
But the payoff was more than worth it. I spotted a bunch of people from the commission drawing all over their notes. There was one hunter who went white-faced after seeing the one above the camp. I wish I could see the state of Astera and Celiana right now. Whole meetings being gathered over a graffiti S. It's the graffiti S. They're making the graffiti S.
Dude, that's valid.
Panicked hunters and researchers drawing big S's to analyze it. But unless I want to risk dying for the sake of breaking in, best not to. What? It's not messed up. I'm not eating them or writing Fatalis' near onto the ground, right? Oh, something in my eye. Don't worry about it. Also gotta wonder, does my hunter character exist here? Should be easy to spot because I gave her obnoxious pink hair, and I think the layered oolong set? Is that even in world? Because I'm assuming this is world.
What did you say?
The layered oolong set.
Oolong set?
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Man, are we currently at a...
Ooh, is it spelled like the Dragon Ball character?
Or is it spelled like the T?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. It's the oolong layered armor. Oh,
Oolong is a Dragon Ball character, right? I'm not just making stuff up.
Yeah, Oolong is the pig, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's the one that always wants them panties.
But then again, I see a bunch of humans with colored hair. What? I see a bunch of humans with colored hair. Hell, a purple-haired woman keeps coming and capturing Legiana. That Legiana I mentioned earlier? Oh, she had a lot to say about her. And if my character did exist, I doubt she'd stick to one armor set for too long. I feel like she's projecting at this point.
I mean, this is pretty much just projecting, right?
But enough human talk. Back to my life. I ended up taking over a cave off of the game's map. It's nice, has a bunch of plants, and there's a small waterfall in the back. As an added bonus, Rathian and Kebli like to gather in that open area above my place, so I don't have to travel too far. I met up with another Rathian up there one time. She was chill, from the waist, but she's making a trip to the recess, to the recess to the ancient forest. There's two locations to find a mate. So you ever thought about having a nest, she asked me? I shook my head.
No.
Oh, you totally should. Think about it. 5 little hatchlings to take care of, watching them grow up until they're ready to leave the nest. Ah, my last nest was such a bundle of joy. Ugh. Even as a monster, I get lectured on how I should have kids. I never wanted kids. Hell, I don't know how to care for a human baby, yet alone 5.
Wraths.
I've only been doing this whole wyvern thing for 14 days. I'm still learning. Plus, what about the hunters? Wyvern eggs are highly requested by the guild. I'd have to stress out over keeping them safe. Wasn't gonna ruin the conversation though. She was excited, so I just nodded along to the rest of it. The idea of traveling though, by the looks of it, I wasn't going back to being a human anytime soon, so why not? Little exploring never hurt. Besides, the wastes sound nice from what both the Rathian and Basilgeese kept saying. My problem is I don't know where to go. You'd think after pouring so many hours into Monster Hunter, I'd at least know where everything might be. Plus, I've never flown that far before. Maybe I'll fly in whatever direction and see where I go. I'll use some markers as a mean to get back and maybe leave a few more graffiti S's around for the guild to worry about. I hope no one takes over my cave though. And that's pretty much everything that's happened up until today. I plan on leaving for the waste tomorrow. I think if I head south here, I'll reach it. If I end up anywhere else, let's say Elder's Recess, I'll burn that bridge when I get there. Say, you know how it's safer and more fun to travel in groups and by yourself? Wanna come along? and that's the end. We can assume that she died.
I want to assume that she, like that she had like this epic quest, and then like her little pea brain was like,
I don't know
oh,
where to go, and then she just died from flying.
yeah, no, she gets like a little bit above the ocean. She's like, oh shit.
Is there a sequel to this?
No, this was written yesterday, actually.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I don't expect much to be
I'm
happen.
gonna favorite this person's their page to see if they make a sequel.
Oh gosh, could you imagine the sequel? What do you think would happen in the sequel?
Didn't they say it's inspired by 14 Days of Rathalos?
No, it's called I Am a Rathalos.
Okay. I think I didn't like this one as much as Current Jesus, to be honest.
Yeah,
it was great.
I mean, I like that it had like actual like kind of character, and we got to learn a little bit of like the struggle. But outside of that, not really a huge fan. I think the character is like a little obnoxious, but like at the same time, I don't know the full story. It was a one shot. Like I'm not expecting everything to like fall into place.
I see. Being that this isn't like this clearly isn't like a troll fic or whatever. I'm taking it a bit more serious as a story, I guess, as much as you can take fan fiction seriously. But I didn't really get a good gist of what this person's. Did they give a name?
No, just the Rathian, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't really get a gist of who this person was as like a person, other than just kind of being like your whiny human type character.
Yeah, like
I don't think it was that bad though. I thought it was pretty well written.
I mean,
There were
yeah.
a couple grammatical errors that kind of fucked with my head, but I look out for that usually, so that's why.
Yeah. I mean, I like the dynamic that we have. I mean, they got the T, you know, and I think the graffiti S was like kind of funny. I feel like
Yeah, that one was actually pretty fun.
like that's pretty crafty that like they would just bring something from the real world such as that S and just make people freak out over it and trying to understand the
If I
meaning.
were put into like a video game like that, I would definitely just draw graffiti S's everywhere.
Just see how long it takes to see society crumble before you.
Like I want to say that anyone would do that, but I know for a fact that if it happened in real life, it would be a swastika and not a graffiti S.
Yeah.
Let's not kid.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because I grew up in the country, but there were a lot of swastikas on our lunch trays.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just like the elementary school, middle school thing. I'll draw a swastika. That's so edgy.
Also edgy,
Oh
dude.
my god, that's the Hitler thing.
No, it means peace, dude. It means peace.
No, dude, it's a Hitler thing, bro.
Oh my god, dude.
But yeah, I liked it.
I think it was cute, but like,
It was a good little short story.
yeah, I don't think I'd rate it above Gur and Jesus. Like, if I had
I'd
to,
say it's
like,
probably on the level.
I wouldn't say it's on the same level. I'd say it's like, in terms of like quality and like what it brings to the table, it's definitely
like genuine quality though.
yeah. In genuine quality, I'd say I'd probably give it like in terms of genuine quality. Like I felt like I wasn't like draining while I was reading it or while I was listening to you read it. So like it's definitely not like below a 5 or like below a 6 because I think we agreed that 6 is kind of like the average that we'd want.
Yeah, 6 is like where we start enjoying, and then 4 is where we start not enjoying.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, so I'd give it like a 6.5.
I think I'll agree with you. I think 6.5 is a fair rating.
Excuse me. I'd rate it. I think I'll give it a 6.5 as well. I think yeah. I guess it was enjoyable. I guess I was wondering to see where it would go.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah. Real quick, Jay, could you put the fanfiction link in Living Mods so that way I can make sure I credit the author properly in our best of the worst tier list. So that way we have that. But yeah. So that was your fanfiction. Was that all that you brought to the table today?
It was.
Okay. Well, I don't want to make this a short episode, And I think that because of where we have, because of the people that we are currently going through, which is Anchor FM, I can run ad breaks. So if we want to do another fanfiction, why don't I go and run that ad break, and we'll come back with a new fanfiction that you found, Drake.
Another one.
Yeah, because we did 2 before. Well, technically 2. But, you know.
Yeah, well, I'll find something that's less fanfic and more just weird.
Yeah. All right.
Thing online.
All right. So we'll be back. Hey everyone, it's Michael or Equinox Doodles, and I want to take this moment to thank you all for listening to our podcast. It really means a lot to us that you are taking the time out of your day, or maybe taking some time in your day, to listen to us ramble about bad fanfiction or some good fan works. If you haven't already, make sure that you are following us on social media. You can find us on Twitter and on Facebook at SYTYCFanon. That's SYTYCFanon. Make sure that you are following us there so that way you can get updates on merchandise or updates on episodes and all that good stuff, as well as maybe getting your name in some future credits. We're going to start doing shoutouts pretty soon that are going to be thrown into the mix. All you have to do is interact with our posts on Twitter and on Facebook to get your name shouted out. Or you can also do a little Twitter hashtag, which is hashtag SYTYCFanon, hashtag SYTYCFanon. We're going to start looking for those and shouting the people out in there. And you might end up as an NPC later on in the 20 on the Dice Throw special. So make sure that you are doing that. You can also send us fanfiction requests or fanfiction suggestions at any time on those socials. And you can also DM it to us if you happen to catch us on Discord or Twitter or any other social media platform that will allow you to communicate with us. I'm now going to take this moment to quickly shout out our sponsors today. Making a podcast is a lot of hard work, believe me, I know. However, this wouldn't have been possible without the help of Anchor. And if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Allow me to explain. It's free, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, and Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, which is how we're able to run these ads and still get a little bit of revenue back. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm or the Anchor app to get started. And welcome back to So You Think You Can Fanon. Jake, you found a new treasure?
Yes, I did. It's actually something. It's a comic online that this guy posts through his Twitter account that he draws occasionally. It's a Spider-Man fan comic.
Oh.
This guy kind of like created his own universe about.
Oh, neat.
I'll post it for you guys. See, it's called Unstoppable Spider-Man. The art is a little jarring. I guess is the only way to call it. It definitely improves as it goes on, but it's well written. It's fun. I enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. There's it's a bit touchy. But I mean,
I've been following the guy who makes it for a while, and he definitely puts a lot of heart into it.
oh, that's definitely, yeah, I can see now, like, well, like, seeing the Spider-Man drawings that he has, like, I'm digging the suit. I dig the suit.
I like the suit design. I like the blue.
I think that's something that's, like, super important. Like, it's either you really hit with the Spidey suit, or you miss by a long shot.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've designed my own Spider-Man suit. It did not have any red on it, and I think it still looked pretty good. But
I think I remember that. That was a while ago.
yeah, it was when Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse came out.
Yeah. The best movie ever made.
Yeah, definitely one of the best.
I know a lot of people complain. Peter swears a lot in this. I don't mind it. It's more.
I mean, teenagers nowadays kind of do.
I guess I'm not a teenager anymore, but I mean, I say fuck a lot.
Yeah. Sergio, what do you think of the Spidey suit?
I think it's good. I think the spider looks a little bit jank on the cover of the first issue, but in the first issue it looks a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed immediately that in the cover, the spider head's facing down, but on the upside down panel, it's... Oh, wait, no, I'm just dumb. I'm dumb.
That's how that works.
Yeah, that is how that works. I'm really dumb.
I don't like how these initial bubbles are like white on like a baby blue. I couldn't read it for a second. It took my eyes like a second to adjust.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, but I dig the suit. It's definitely something that I enjoy.
Where is issue 2? Because
It's through the threads. You go through the threads.
Yeah. It's not called issue 2. It just says cover.
Oh,
It's
okay,
the one
cover.
next to issue 1.
Yeah. I mean, like I dig the I dig what they're going for though.
Yeah, I like it. It hasn't been updated in a while, but I mean,
Hey, what
the
you
guy-
can
the
do?
guy- the guy who makes it, right, like he works and he does commissions. Like he's busy, and I
Yeah,
get
dude.
that. And it's good. Like it doesn't update often, but like it updates often enough that like I can enjoy it whenever a new issue comes out and just be happy, you know?
Yeah. I get that. So you've been following it for a while. What's the current story like? What's the story for our readers to enjoy and get their
He got
sink their teeth into?
kidnapped by Shield. I guess it's kind of a spoiler.
Okay, wait a minute. So Shield kidnapped Spidey?
Yeah, because they're kidnapping mutants, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
Spider-Man's a mutant, which technically he's not. That's a whole thing. I could go on for hours. But he gets the black suit, and the black suit design is pretty cool. I like the logo of the black suit. It's different than the normal one. There's the Weapon X program. Nick Fury's there. It's good. It's a good time.
Okay.
Is it Sam Jackson Nick Fury or is it David Hasselhoff Nick Fury?
It's not Sam Jackson Nick Fury, but it's like.
Oh,
it's
man.
not a white Nick Fury.
That black suit is actually kicking. I love that design.
I really like the spider logo.
I like the gloves a lot. Like originally, like the spider logo is just kind of like, oh yeah, it's there, but like adding the features on the gloves really defines it, and I think that actually helps out a lot.
My favorite E-list supervillain Slide with a Y.
Slide with a Y. What does slide with a Y do?
If I remember correctly, he's a power to have no friction, which is
Oh, that's pretty neat. That's actually super neat.
no one really uses him because he's Slide, but you know, it's cool.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, the last update was on July. What was it? July.
2019.
Yeah, it was in July of 2019. So it's been a while.
6 months. Well,
Yeah.
more than 6 months.
But yeah, the art definitely does improve as time goes on.
Yeah, especially in the newest issue.
Oh yeah, this is really cool. I like that he's doing this. You know.
I hope it gets updated again because obviously it's be good.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, that's I'm a big Spider-Man guy. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the best movie ever made because you know it's incredible. I'm being summoned, so I will mute myself for one moment.
Okay. So I guess Sergio, if you had to make like a choice, what would you say is your favorite spider of men?
Like what do you like version of define that question like.
What is your what iteration of Spider-Man is your favorite, or what person behind the mask is your favorite and why?
Well, I'm a big Spider-Gwen fan.
That's fair.
She's not my favorite, but she's definitely a standout for me.
Okay, but if who is your favorite then?
Then my favorite is definitely Peter Parker. I know there have been several takes on Peter Parker. I think probably the 90s Spider-Man because that's kind of like what I grew up watching, and I have like the most like nostalgia for.
That's
That
fair.
is my favorite take on Spider-Man. I also enjoy the PS4 take on Peter Parker.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of enjoys the PS4 take of Peter. I think just having him get be older and still doing Spider-Man things is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think if I had to say who my favorite Spidey is, in terms of like suit design and what have you, I'd say it's probably Superior Spider-Man. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, well, I could say Iron Spider. I just really like the spider arm, like the mechanical spider arms that he gets, but I
Yeah.
prefer it on the Superior Spider-Man suit.
I think early 20s Peter is kind of an underrated version of him that people tend not to like want to go back to. It's probably because I'm in my early 20s that I'm more starting to resonate with like Peter can't pay the rent rather than oh, Peter's got a girl at school that he likes or whatever.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
I feel like I played Persona 5 my senior year, and I think that was the best time for me to play it because I peak like understood like all of their problems.
Yeah, no, I get that. Although if I had to say like I don't, my answer for like who would be the best, like who's the best Spider-Man is like still kind of up in the air, because like I enjoyed Spider-Verse Miles Morales, but at the same time like I also don't read the comics a lot, so I can't say outside of like what I know is like the best Spidey.
I don't know how they write Miles now, but originally I was not a Miles fan.
I don't think anyone was a Miles fan because he was definitely like in Peter's shadow.
I want to say there with the Spider-Man PS4 game and Into the Spider-Verse, there was some kind of like conspiracy like campaign to get people on the Miles Morales hype train, and I think it worked.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the problem is that initially I saw Miles as like a Peter replacement rather than like a sidekick Wally West type, which is what he kind of is now.
Yeah, I think their biggest issue is like they're kind of like they were doing that for a while, was they would take their I feel like early like the early series of like when they were replacing a lot of the big names of their heroes like Iron Man and Spider-Man and stuff like that. It was mostly it was mostly just kind of like, yeah, we want to just have a little bit more diversity in it, and they didn't really care for the character as much, which ended up hindering like everybody. And then like eventually they're like Spider-Verse is like, here's how you actually do it with that kind of same plot, and they're like, oh well, let's just probably do it that way now, I guess, because I haven't read any of the comics again, so I have no idea. But I mean, that's how I picture it being. But I don't,
because he started, because what happened was in the Ultimate Comics, Peter Parker died. I guess spoilers for anyone who hasn't read the Ultimate Comics, but it's kind of been a known thing for years now. So Peter died, and then Miles took up the mantle of Spider-Man, and then Peter came back to life because it's comics, and then some multiversal crisis level stuff happened, and then Miles ended up in the mainstream continuity as kind of like I don't know, you could say like Peter's apprentice.
that's interesting, because I think I haven't seen a lot of it, but I know there's like a medieval Spider-Man.
Ooh, are we talking about
Spider Knight?
Yeah, I asked Sergio what his favorite Spider-Man was, like who's their favorite, who's the best Spidey in your sense. My answer was I don't read the comics a lot, but I really enjoyed Spider-Verse Miles, and my favorite suit has to be the Superior Spider-Man suit.
That's fair.
Sergio is like all on board on the Spider-Gwen.
I'm not big on Spider-Gwen. That's a personal thing.
Okay.
I think Gwen Stacy's legacy shouldn't be touched, just in general. I think it should be on its own pedestal. It should not be touched for any reason. Just because it's like, you know, one of those things, if that makes sense.
I mean,
like you don't bring back Batman's parents.
Oh, right. It's one of those things that you just don't
Bring
do.
back Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, that's fair. Wasn't there like a universe of Spider-Man that like where Uncle Ben got the Spider-Man powers?
Yes.
There's one where Aunt May also got the Spider-Man powers.
Oh, that's pretty
She's called Spider-Man.
that kicks. Oh, I like that a lot.
I'm assuming you're gonna ask me who mine is.
Yeah, of course. Who's your favorite spider?
Um,
And then also your favorite suit.
I like Ultimate Spider-Man, like Ultimate Peter, not Miles. I mean, it's not that I don't like Miles, but I really like Ultimate Peter, just because he's a lot more cynical, and I guess when I was that age, I was also very cynical and depressed, like him, so I relate.
That's fair.
His death. Spoiler alert, Miles.
No, I already
Yeah,
spoiled
we
it.
are already discussing that.
Okay. His death is really sad, but it's also really good, like well written death because he died basically to save Aunt May. Plus, he beat the shit out of the Sinister Five with a bullet in him, and they barely even put up a fight.
What a Chad, dude.
As for suit, I don't know.
For suit, because I didn't say suit, but I think, because I don't want to just say Spider, because one of the biggest things I like about Spider-Gwen is her design. But I'd say like for Spider-Man himself, probably the superior Spider-Man's costume. Or if we're being very, very specific, like the comic Spider-Man suit from the PS4 game that's like cel shaded.
That one's a good one, yeah.
Mine is I guess this is kind of cheating, but I like both the Ben Reilly suits a lot. The important ones, not the weird one in the 2016 I think run where he got the spider side suit. That was weird. Like the you know the one. The
Yeah, I'm looking at
Spider.
it. That's a pretty good suit.
Especially the Spider-Man PS4 one especially looks really good if you want to pull that one up.
Yeah.
Also,
Also the sensational Spider-Man suit. If we're talking about Spider-Man suits officially, sensational. I really like the design of the spider on it because it's like big, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that.
Also, I feel like because we didn't really like go into the Spider-Man comic for our audience because we just kind of like, oh yeah, this is cool. But we should probably give like, I don't know, Jake should probably give a rundown for the audience of like the plot and just your general thoughts on the whole thing.
I mean, it's mostly just like about Peter himself, just like being a teenager and also being Spider-Man. It's very much a thing that I feel like you should just read for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I very highly recommend it. It's really good.
That's Unstoppable Spider-Man by BM Thomas on Twitter. That's Thomas with 2 S's.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll post it somewhere on the website.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description of the. I'll probably put every fanfiction in the description.
Since we're in the midst of shilling fan comics, would it be okay if I shilled a fan comic real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, shill the fan comic.
All right. So my shill is going to be at Scruffy Turtles on Twitter and his adult confidant AU comic for Persona 5. It is absolutely amazing. The first issue just dropped. It's been in development for 2 years, and he finally got around to it. He hasn't gotten back to it since that first issue, but he said we're gonna get at least 6 or 7. I believe it's up on Webtoon.
Line Webtoon is usually a place where you would find fan fictions. Like I know there's a lot of Miraculous Ladybug fan fiction on, not fan fiction, fan comics on there. Still waiting for Sonichu to make its way onto Webtoon.
Oh god.
Yeah, Webtoon. Basically, the gist of it is it's Persona 5, but the roles have been switched. The kids are the adults, and the adults are the kids.
I've been following the artist for a little while, and gotta say, I like it. Good art.
Yeah.
I haven't read the first issue, but it's good. Like from what I've seen, the art especially, the character designs are really cool. I like how every character gets their own persona and everything.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, he's done some very interesting swaps, and he's also not just completely recreating the plot.
My question though is Kawakami in it?
Yeah.
Yes, she is one. She is one of the party members.
Okay, I'm hooked. Kawakami's my favorite.
A man of
Yeah. Sai Nijima is basically taking the place of Makoto. Kawakami is basically like the new On.
That's fair. That's very fair.
However, when I say that she's still like her own kind of character, like a younger Kawakami. Like all of them kind of act like younger versions of themselves.
Yeah, as they
She
should.
also managed to make Oya a good character, which is something I wouldn't thought I'd be able to say. But Oya looks like she's going to be a standout.
It's a bold statement.
I already don't know who Oya is.
Oya, if you never played Persona 5, is this drunken reporter lady that you meet as one of your social links.
Neat. But
She's a bit of a degenerate. She's a romance option. I don't really I'd say she's probably the worst romance option in that game.
You're alienating a lot of people right now.
I'm sorry, but I think that's the general opinion that Oya is low tier.
you can
Sorry.
if you would like to have a fruitful debate with Sergio, go ahead. If you go to our Twitter, which is at I believe it's at like SYTYC Fanon
Yeah.
or cite it or something like that. SYTYCFanon.
Yeah, and for those who do get into Adult Confidant AU and want to support Scruffy Turtles and you join his Patreon, and if you get a commission request, could you please get him just commission more Adult Confidant AU because I feel like no offense to him, but he gets busy with commissions and then doesn't go back to it.
Yeah, that's kind of how it be. As an artist, I can safely agree that is something that happens.
Because he said he'd work. He said 2 years ago that we'd get a comic, and then we're just now getting the comic. And then, because when you put his nose to the grindstone, he got it out in like 2 weeks. So if you guys get some Scruffy Turtles commissions, commission some Adult Confidant AU so we can get it cranked out.
Yeah, that's fair. I commissioned one panel of the Adult Confidant AU.
Yeah.
That's a big brain way to do it. But I mean, yeah, definitely go check out those peoples as comic peoples. If you want us to read more or to find more fan comics and show them, and maybe possibly read Sonichu in the future, because I'd totally be down to do that.
We should do that at a panel.
I would love to do it.
Well, we could probably get like, I don't know, like a screen record with all of us, and we can take a look at comics and read them
as special episodes. I don't know. We'll figure that part out. I feel like that would definitely be something that would be like, I mean, that's probably panel material, but I honestly could go on for like an hour just discussing the intricacies of Sonichu. Because I am in love with either like really serious but like really bad comics, or like ironically funny comics, like Tails Gets Trolled and all that stuff.
Oh god, Tails Gets Trolled.
Tails Gets Trolled is a masterpiece.
What's the super prison from Tails Gets Trolled?
I don't remember. All I
was like every day I would wake up and they'd break into each individual finger of mine, and then they'd go to the toes, and then my arms, and they'd go up the arms to my body until I died, and then I would come.
Here, let me check the wiki. Yeah, Tails Gets Trolled wiki.
I think it's Time Prison.
Time Prison? Let's find that. Time or prison. I'm not finding anything on here. The ultimate guide. Hold on one second. I gotta find this because like I feel like that's something that's very, I don't want to go to chapters, I was going to characters. All I know is that this is like the greatest crossover ever. It says nothing about his prison. What the heck?
I think the best crossover is still going to be the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny.
Yeah, that's fair. All I remember is that They held a fake Justin Bieber concert and it was great. But seriously, I love all this. I love the crazy kookiness that happens with Tails Gets Trolled. It's mostly just the neutrals. Like that entire like plot point of it is so good. If you've read the comic, you automatically understand what the neutrals are, and it's so cool.
I think I found it. Hold on.
You know, is it time prison? Do we get locked? Does Shadow get?
Sorry, so Bugs Bunny says, "Sorry it took so long to save you from time prison, Shadow. So what did you do in time prison?" And Shadow says, "Well, after 50 years, I started to feel like I was losing my sanity, so I started to break my fingers, and I would just break my fingers and set them again. I started breaking all of my bone. I broke every bone in my hand.
Wow. Sometimes that's just how it be.
I broke my arms separately, and then I started to break my own ribs. I broke my femurs. It took a while, and then I healed them and broke them. After 5,000 years, my bones were all scar tissue. They had grown so solidly back together that I was unable to move. And after another 5,000 years of furious infinitesimal movement, I built up enough muscle mass to spontaneously break any bone in my body so I can move again. My body's done so much healing that I healed almost instantly. That is all I do now. Every time I move my body, my bones shatter and heal back into my next shape. If I take a single step, every bone in my legs splinters and reform.
Jesus
I don't know
Christ.
what pain is because I've been alive for 10 million years." And then Sonic says, "Okay, Shadow, but it looks like you're walking just normal." And Shadow says, "I know." And then Sonic replies with, "Okay, well, that's stupid."
See, Tails Gets Trolled is the best comic ever. We'll definitely have to touch on that eventually.
I love time prison explanation so much. The Shadow just like
I break my bone.
constantly.
Okay. I think this is a good place to stop. So you can find us on Facebook and on Twitter at SYTYCFanon.
Did you make a Facebook?
I did make a Facebook page. I've already invited Sergio to it, and Sergio is the only member so far.
My
But we
Facebook is canceled. So
we have a Facebook page. We have a Twitter. We still need to get a YouTube up, but it will probably also be SYTYCFanon. That's SYTYCFanon. And I think that's a good place to leave off. So we will see you next week, and I will present something nice to the class.
That would have been cool if it was in sync.
I'll try and figure out a way to make it in sync. Or not, and just like...
Make it not in sync. That'd be funny.
Okay, that's fair. Alright, we'll see y'all next week.